Good morning, folks. It's 7:24 a.m. on the 10th month, 20th day, 2025. Right, we get some HR puffy stuff coming back to town with the big bad wolf by his side. You can expect some heavy rains and very, very deadly winds. Objects whipping around in the wind like a street sign or something can decapitate somebody in this type of winds. This is around the Hammer Spring area here. The wind's going to be roaring through that valley. Don't be caught out on this road. Yeah, this areas down here. Yep, that's the SH, the SH7. I guess that stands for some heavy somethings. Yeah. This is it's a beautiful road actually to drive along. But I wouldn't be wanting to be come out here. This is right around midnight Wednesday, through the 24-hour period of the next day. Things are going to just be absolutely just. I wouldn't want to be out on that road when that's going on. So I'm going to go through now for New Zealand some of what to be expected during this event that I'm calling an event. Right? It totals you through to the 25th. There's nothing you're going to want to be experiencing through here. Arthur's passing all day, right? Yeah, this is a major deal to have to once again contend with another geostorm. Oh, good, my live is working. If I hear my voice, yes, it's working. That's me doing a verification. All right, so this warning is to be heeded because it's needed, right? It need a heat. So again, this island here is just button out there for some reason, which we only the master plan maps of Agenda 2030 will reveal why this area seems to be getting all these geostorms. So I'm going to run through that now for you. I put Tassie on the screen because they're in the path of the nasties as well. And then I'll go through what's going to come through us. And then I'll probably go through some coffees, kind of a thing like that. Oh, yeah, I've been gave quite the warded on this. I heard Met Service finally said something for that was coming on the 21st and 22nd, but I'm talking about that 23rd, 24th. So you might be thinking, oh, I only need 2 days supply. No, you need a lot more, and you still got some time before the main batches hit you. But use this time very wisely. Like even now, you've got a couple hours to, in a relaxed manner, to get some things done. Do you have fuel? Do you have stuff for your pets? You get something for warmth in case the power goes out, right? There's going to be wintry mix to be expected. The way this thing is rotating down here, right? This lull is kicking a lot of stuff from all the way down in Antarctica all the way back up. It's being just streaming right across the top. You hit an EMF line while this one here is now pumping tropical air down into this belt of stuff that's then circulating like this, right? That's how these masses of air tended to meet. It was because of that. Now, I showed you the beans that do it, and I'm just going to do you a quick squigs here to let you know what's going on. Let me organize my desk a little. Or what just happened? I don't want that. I want it to expand. Right. This is rotating like this. I'm just going to do some. I don't like that color. That's just. I'm trying to alarm people. I'm just trying. Edge of McKee. How about this beautiful board? Is it showing up? A white would show up really good here, because showing up matters. Right. This is rotating that direction. Okay. Towards the rising sun. Alright, so all this air mass from here then is going that direction. I'll just draw it on the lines they already have. Because there's this nice line already down there. Alright, so all that cold air from down here, cold, wet, clammy. Yeah, it's clammy. So all that's being directed over. Now this is coming from the desert here, right? This rotation is still coming into a pocket in through here, right? See this? If I can get this to blow up some more. So these all these desert dynamics are now coming down in through here. It's being directed in. Hits an EMF line here. I'll show you how they shut that off. It can't really go through, so it has to go up, and some of it makes it a crush, like this. And that's carrying warm tropical air. So some of that's you're going to feel pockets of warm, which is going to mix with this stuff from down here, which is cold. Cold for New Zealand, it's cold as. Cold as what? I don't know. It's cold as. So I guess that keeps you from swearing once in a while. Yeah. So you got a lot of dynamics, and this one here is coming this direction, right? Because it's high, and in this hemisphere, high, it turns counterclockwise or away from the rising sun. So it's bringing all that stuff from Vanuatu, Fiji, at the tropical belt, basically, that was directed down here. All those chem bombs, it was all over, all my Bula Vinaka, and the beautiful islands of Vanuatu. It's all been slung inland here, of course, for Byron and stuff. It's going to make that a bit volatile as some of this cold air that's in these belts moves in behind it, right? This is how your weather's being done. And I'm going to show you the beads and move them. You can see the ships out at sea. It's pretty plain today. So how did they make the winds roar? They constricted the opening with a beam. Anytime, it's like a garden hose. You put your finger over the end, you're constricting the opening. You're increasing the velocity and the pressure. And by using EMF beams, I see no need to save any of it because I can do this anytime. I haven't pulled up Mimic yet this morning, so I'm going to humor myself and do that. Well, I got squiggies in my... Oh, I'll get a big blast. Holy mother of pearl. Let's see if we can stuck it on there. Bzz, getting fried, New World Order style. Boy, is that going to make the earthquakes in Pappy very, very probable. Let's have a quick peek at this. Some guiding lines have been put in place for this storm, absolutely. And that was probably about 2 or 3 hours ago, that data. So let's have, because I moved it about. So let's see. This could be coming from above. You know, I haven't put on the big one. You have a ship right here. We're right there. Right? So you can see what it's done. So there's what slowed down what's coming up. And your radars have kicked in. Here. Definitely here. See the beams? I take those lanes off for you. I said I'd take them off, not the whole screen for fudges. Found and so far fill. Kind of a thing. So I'll take some of those lines off and let you see this again. Because I don't have to, I can fill this whole screen up and show you near where every ship is. But right where I'm pointing is the main activity, and there's more than one vessel. There's one there. There's one right there where I just put that list out. These are neck threads right there. They got anything parked up in the hills that's beaming? Because I'm seeing 3. Well, actually, no, that's the same station there. So I got 2 stations beaming 100% positive. We have an affirmative. It slows down stuff. If I put my hand up in the water when the river's going like that, it's going to slow down. Some of the water will go under my haze. Some will make a ripple over the top. But I'll have an effect on flow. I've created a path of resistance. Resistance to flow. Right? Or pressure and density. The density of the flow, how fast is it moving, is very comparable to an electrical circuit with the Ampere's resistance and Voltaire. See this right here? Would you say again? That's a ship. It's actually quite active. It's going that way. That's a gear. If that thing starts spinning. In this case, it's spinning this direction. I've got that curve around this one. Let me show you better. Oopsie doopsie. As this spins, right, in this direction, because it's hotter than the air around it because of the microwaves, this is going to act like a scoop and will actually carry stuff in it. Or Anybody in mechanics ever hear of a gear rotor or a vane pump? It's a rudimentary one, so it forces stuff up and around, or like a broom for Kim. You know, you could take a pulse like this one here and send that air that direction, right? Because there's a flow boundary. And that slings tropical dynamics down towards the other system that's moving. I'm very curious where this came from, so I'll humor myself a little more. Why? Because I can. Well, we appreciate you so much. I couldn't do nothing for you yesterday because, well, my bank account was dry completely, and they wanted £20 for the modem. And so on my way into town, through town, I walked and put £20 in. See this beam up here? Look at the harp. That might not be harp, even though it's in a location area where harp is. I don't know if this is going to show up, this thing here. The harp is here. But this beam seems to be emanating out at sea. And I showed you guys the other day that they've got floating harp. Now let's see if Hawaii's done anything. Nothing major. I can't really tell where this one came from. Came from up in here. Peppy itself did that. See how you got points on two ends? Here. That's your blaster right there. Did you see the flash? Pew, pew. That's where it came from. And that's most likely one of those harp type signatures. That's what I see. I'm very good at identifying what type of array, because I've mapped out so many of them around the world. Some of the things I have. Let's see if we can pull this up. I'll show you, because the North Pole, there was been a goal of melting that ice, so there was a passage for trade. So I went around the world. Now, it took some time. There was a lot of devices. Like there's harp over here. However, these super darn antennas, these ones, like they have one in Hobart area, and there's one in Ice. I mean, that's the one in Ice, and there's twinned with one in New Zealand. And you look at these fields, you know, it takes some finding. And you could now start to just about see the shadow of the masts, right, of what this array. And this is a model of Tesla's death ray. Don't ever argue about this one. We have a T-shaped harp over here I found as well, inside here in this field here. I seen one of those over at Cuffs Harbor, and they use those for looking for near-Earth objects, is what the program's funding is sold for. I'm going to zoom out and take you to a little tour of how they control the flow of the North Pole, so they can at will bring cold pockets of air either down into Europe or down across central United States and Canada, and then whip for lack of a better term, they really control Tornado Alley with that, or it really, really does. This one took a little bit of a challenge to spot, but it's here. You have to go back forward in time. She's in this field here. There's its control facility. And I'm suspecting there's also an X-ray radar there. Judging by the signatures that I very often see on the radar and in the clouds. And Mimic, it just shows you if rain could come down, how much would there be? Yeah, it might be blurring and choppy and up for you guys. Try finding some of these things in the freaking snow. In this snow, see the shadows right here? That's just super darn. And it makes a very specific blast. Very often, if you count these masts, you'll see the same number showing up in the beads as well. See this big long one here? This one here is aiming, it should be aiming north. Yeah, it's aiming north. But you can fire it side to side and down. It's just its beam is not as directive and strong, so it's a little better for weather modification. Because it's not as harsh. And this one here. You try finding these things. Yeah? This is what I do with my time. What is he doing? He's thinking about titties. No. I'm thinking about what them tits are up to out there. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a death ray. See? You can see the type of the high gain antennas here. That T shape there. Yeah. They're tall. They don't take up as much space. You have right a farmer's field. They're just energize and pulse. It's not as hard to be around as a harp facility would be. And you have one in us. I'll show it to you. Why? Because I can. Because I've done my own homework. There's one in the superintendent here is right here. It's twinned with one in New Zealand. You know, in case all the dangerous nations in Antarctica decide to fire missiles at us, or the Foo Fighters, Fuhashit, the King Fuhashit of the Foo Fighters. Look at here's a great shot of the antennas. I'm trying not to go street level on this. You see the antenna there, the wires, or the metals. See the control boxes to pulse it, energize and let it go. Pulse it. Here's some great shot of the antennas here. Where is it, Robert? Where is it, Robert? I don't know. If it was aiming up your ass, you'd know where it was. You just go look. It's right there. Where I showed you. That's a fairly recent image. That was from a couple years ago. Let's take you over to the old Zealand over here, where it gets the old the New World Order Zealand. Yeah, that's it. NWO Zealand. Yeah, the word new is now going to go to NWO, that is all. And in this nice field of beautiful whatever's growing, again, the same setup that you see all around the world in all sorts of different countries. Sounds like a plan. And these have not been dismantled. Oh no, only we can do that. I can't even suggest how, but I see how. And that is a form of a death ray. It can heat up the upper atmosphere so hot that a missile will melt going through it. Plus these beautiful lands and forests and wire. It's not its fault how it's being used. Right, so let's get back to your weather. Getting fried. Very often you can see down here like a scoop when that one fires, and it directs flow up this way. So you see the flash? Pep. That's that firing. Pow. You see a secondary fire here? Look. That busted them. Look, they're beaming. They're using a super darn it. And that's a ship. They no doubt in my mind. This looks like it's directing this thing more toward Japan, so that this mast doesn't totally wipe out the Philippines again. Go look at the master plan of your area. Yeah, the Kaka master plan. So we're going to continue to roll this through. By then you got full-fledged low. It should go right through Bass Strait. It doesn't look like they're holding up the flow there. Right, so you don't want to be doing the crushing in the middle of that unless somebody's holding your beer and you film it so we can see what an idiot you are. yeah. As we heading into Wednesday, Wednesday is no time to be in this here neighborhood roads to the west of the spines of the mountain there, and the passes are going to become impassable because of the gases they passed in the sky. Yeah, they're passing gases. There's lots of chemtrail falling out, and these nanoparticles are so small they in a crack in your house they can't go through. Yeah. So if anybody ever asks you, is the chemtrail in the room with you right now? Well, the fallout is. Oh, it's a fact. I'll pick up it on microscope slides. Right? I can put one in the window now within an hour. It'll have plenty of things for us to look at that you go, hey, that has to be manufactured. How the hell did that get escape? Aluminum? And you have to make that. You're going to find aluminum rock. You'll find rocks with aluminum nut in it. And then, Saturday is another day. And that'll be Sunday your time, New Zealand. I have to do a little sussings in my head. Because I'm on Universal Time, UTC. Which is my time. It happened to be conveniently created for my time zone. There's really heavy stuff coming through Monday during the afternoon for you guys over here on the 27th. These storms here are packing every bit of a centimeter an hour. So even, you know, 15, 20 minutes over your house, it's a third of a centimeter of water. It's like I just passed through all here. Again, the Coppingtons. If General Carpington's come to town, yeah, but he's copy you and you're late for work because of the copulating. And on and on and on and on and on, and that's where the forecast's going to stop. That's going to be leading to some terrible totals of rain. Absolute between here and then. If I take you over here to the 30th year high, yeah, this is a lot to contend with. Half a meter. Some of these over here I see 600-700 mils. Okay, so I'm gonna have to bring that flag back around. But the real story is gonna be this wind, the gusts again, the gusts. That's what you got. It's not going to be roaring 110 miles an hour everywhere. With these passes to be expected, to be expected. And I'm expecting you to stay the fuck away from them. I mean, miles an hour, I can, let's see. Actually, 94 knots. Not, come on. Let's see if we get this in miles. Yeah, meters per second. It is 48 meters per second. Wind, 108 miles an hour in real money. That'll get you a speeding ticket. Honest, officer, all I did was just put it in neutral. Yeah. Record time from Christchurch. My goodness, this is, again, one of those times you don't want to be called out. Caught out. Called out. Yeah, it isn't really a North Island event, thank goodness. Right? If there's anything good to be said. But, you know, we're the same times. We also have some very fierce winds to be contended with through here. And I'm going to go through that now, too. And these are accumulated winds. So if I can, there we go, get that in something. Oops. Let me do knots something, because, you know, Higgins makes all this money putting a forecast right after I do, because he won't know which one of these to pick. Someone will say ECMW or GFS. That's these down here, different weather reporting services. And me, I disagree with all of them. You've heard me disagreeing like fuck when I was talking wind speeds and stuff like that. And so you have to listen to what I say. And well, if you read what the teleprompter voice to text says, you'll be laughing as hard as I am. Because they don't really. I'm going to zoom a little bit out here because I do want Perth on the screen. But this storm that's coming is it's going to be quite a wallop for the Great Australian Bight. Any big surfer fans out there that want to get yourself, I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday this week, you get yourself out to Sardinia, Italy. One of the biggest waves I ever seen hitting there for that coast right there. Yeah, some of them islands out there in the Med are about to have it. Nothing is reliable. Somebody else is nil or reliable. No, none of them are. Because they don't take geoengineering into account. So you can't get accurate till you see the beams or the chem or how the flow is going. Now, I did disagree with all of them. That's how I called Gabriel. I looked at the beams. It did an S-curve. I hear I missed landfall by 25 kilometers in the time of hitting landfall by 15 minutes. I was shocked. If I get it within an hour, I'm happy. I'd be happy if I'm wrong, to be fair. Right? That's what you're trying to be wrong. But man, who would want to manifest this? So this is a big clapper coming for you. And this, let me get my time zones in my head right. This is the overnight hours, Tuesday. So this is tomorrow night. It's a big lightning bitch. There's going to be some dangerous times. It's some very dramatic pictures. Yeah, so bring the Washington off the line that day. Well, if you leave your washing on the line somewhere in Tassie, you ain't never going to dry. Probably at some point even freeze into a solid thing. Make you think he uses starch. I can't help it. Wellington is North Island. Somebody asked him Wellington. It's pretty much a South Island event, James. Pretty much South Island. Now I'm over here in Australia, where we've gone away from you now. See how the flow keeps going through? So there's going to be a lot less EMF aimed at Melbourne from Tassie. And from Tassie towards Melbourne, shutting off the flow. So that's a good sign. And more natural flow of stuff into New South Wales will occur. That's good. And we'll ride the radar line. So until I see what the beams are doing that day, I can't tell you the exact car speed. I can look now and give you a general idea. Is that good enough for you guys? Well, it has to be. Because my good enough is my best always. Let's take this back about 6 hours, see if I can see anything obvious. No. Okay, that's enough. That's all I need right there. Let me see here. No, that's all I need. Alright, let's look at the flow here. Bring that up. I'll take that back just a little bit. Right, I see the lines that are shut, and I see where the flow can happen. So let's show you. And this is from 19 hours and 38 minutes ago, to be precise, 38 seconds. Well, that's seconds ago. Oh, we gotta go change the minutes on that now. 39. Well, let me show you the lines on this one. This one's really easy to mark. Very good. If I have squigs. Right. Full on. Half on. When you see half on like that, flow can go like that. Flow can still come here. Okay, there's a gap here. Bring in the wings. Funnel them out here. That's pretty much shut, right, for things coming in, because stuff coming through here is going to fill that gap. That leaves open a corridor through here for rain. You can't get it there, right? That's a flow, right? City's really shut until you get to about halfway outside the city, right about the gone line, right about here. That's your flow line there. See, that's shut, but there's a pass here. What's that? Gosford entrance, all that through here, that you can bring some of that tropics that was coming down in to meet this air here, which is cold. Right, this is your cold air. And by using beams, you can either move it up or down in the atmosphere, altitude-wise. So I can bring cold air up or down, depending on the angle of the beams itself, which I can't really determine by looking at this. I can see which side. I can see what fries at. There's a half on here. See that the half moon shape? It's half on, so that's flow. It's a flow line. Huff, which one's this is probably guilty grafting. She should be beaming out to sea, but to look at it here as a flow line, this will separate dynamics of that air from tropic air. So tropic air will probably come down coast like that, I would expect, just from reading this screen. So then I'd go and look, and it's, I'll have to go look then and see, is any of these forecasts actually matching up with the fuck I'm seeing, right? And if it's not, I talk over what I'm seeing here and tell you what's going to happen. Okay, is that fair way? Yeah, so I don't find any of them accurate. Nah, they're all owned. They're even charging you money to be owned, so you don't have an accurateness. And they hide the radar all the time on here, so that tells you it's not accurate. I have other places I have to go sometime for my data. Oh, I thought that was rolling. Just see, I had you over to here, didn't I? Hi. So we'd already gone out to sea. So yeah, I'd say in ECM is fairly doing what I'm expecting to see. It's not going far enough north, so I would be saying it's going to go higher. You know, let's look at the rain accumulations. This is where they add up the things they say is going to happen. It's not going high enough for me. Let's see if any of them are showing a little bit more rain going into the trough. Okay, there's a beam that's going to occur I ain't seen yet, but the flow is very well mapped out. Yeah, that'll be these showers here. Flow line, until we get closer to it, to the date of like tomorrow. I'll know what they mean in your dreams tonight, right? Kind of a thing. At least the totals ain't super duper big. Some of these gardens well needing it, right? And let's see if abscess, again, they're pretty much in agreement. So they're saying there's going to be a little bit of action south of the gun. But it's not now. 2 events. Yeah, because I wouldn't see any. Everything is bent to bring a huge line of stuff straight across to New Zealand. Right from here, all the way across. How you like that graphic, huh? Yeah, well, pretty smooth transition. It's been windy abs. says James. I had to fit that in. That's one thing I learned. A lot of things are as in New Zealand, like oppressed assy as, your sky is sprayed as, and stupid is as stupid does as. They got a place called Yes, as, yes as. Want to see some chem bombs? No, you don't, but you're gonna anyhow. Pow, boom, 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 plum, 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 pluming you and the pluming Nazi spraying here, giving themselves a golden dog. Start a war that doesn't end. People are thinking they're saved. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, plum, 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 plum. America's golden age doesn't include ours. Look, it's like simulating a mountain range out at sea. You know, I'd expect to see that over the Blue Mountains over there. You know, I won't expect that to see that out here in the ocean. That's an EMF-induced line of absolute solidity to the atmosphere that causes standing roll cloud to happen. And when you get winds moving like that across because you're here, whoa, I'm all the way over here, that nanoparticle need a speeding ticket. Falling out. Oh my God, look at all the chem here. Slow it down. Slow down. You move too fast. We got to see the passing gas. And look, let's look at this object here. Pow. 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 Not that. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row right there. Let's see if we can get this to do that scrolly bit. I can go. Just look at that area. I'll do 10-minute jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. Or is that Bill Gates advertising his involvement in his stratospheric aerosol injection? That we was told not to huff aerosols. Well, you know, if the Earth was a paper bag, we'd all be brainless from breathing by now. Oh, wait a minute. Stupid is as stupid don't do sometimes. Oh, look at the boom boom plumes here going over the penis insole of the North Island of New Zealand. You're breathing it. You know, look at the flow stopping. Just stopping dead in that EMF lines that were mapped out. Absolutely horrendous. No wonder the flow can't go over here, create a lull that creates a suction and pulls the storm through in a natural way. Because that's what should happen. But when you beam everything to control everything, you're going to get what controllers want you to have. That's what I think about that. It ain't a conspiracy to look up and see, hey, it's not a round cloud. It ain't a conspiracy to sit by yourself and not conspire with anybody. Now, the conspiracy covers it up. The conspiracy lies and uses the news and advertising to sell you the harm, that they sell you something they say is going to cure the harm. It causes further harms, it seems. Further harms. I spoke the truth in my court case. Y'all lucky I ain't gone full Tourette swearing yet. I've got that law in control this morning. So far. Yeah, this is just a nestito bandito come to town. I had to turn off some of the particle animation for what you're going to be expecting to see. And they're all following the flow lines real fast, real predictably. Temperature-wise, it's very cold. Brrr. Yeah, cold meets hot. What happens? Oh, atmosphere gets volatile. Condensates forms. Particles brushing against each other with piezoelectric properties build up statics, so to speak, in the clouds. And then a laser beam could come along and a lightning will follow it right on down to the ground. Or all the electrical potential in 1,000 miles of chem can be directed to the ground in one time. And lightning bolts, unlike we've ever seen before, have been happening. Some pretty hot days out there in the desert, but when you're getting fried up in the skies, the temperatures tend to rise. Tenderized skies. Tenderized. I get some tender groin to give some motherfuckers. Yeah, beef tender groins from sirloins. That's the Wascally Wabbit, sirloin of beef. See a straight line of hot air? Get the fuck out of here with natural features. The land won't allow that. If anything, because of all the water in the beautiful river areas out there that suddenly appear, the inland sea looking thing, it should be evaporating, cooling things off. Why? Because evaporation is a cooling process. Write that down. That's just how that works. You know, I argue with the physicist. That's provable, right? I prove some things, or I keep my mouth shut. A lot of you should learn what integrity means. Look it up in the dictionary before you go spouting Trump being a savior again on my wall. It's my country you're pushing that dude's honest. Yeah. Yes, coming over the next hour, Port Lincoln, you're going to smackaroo it. This is a long, slow flow that's about to really affect Adelaide down here, the wine regions down here. Who areas are going to get fucked? Oh, that road. Yeah, it's the road. It won't let me go. I think my internet is just. It usually means go right on in. It cut apart. That's the B89. Goromoka. Is that field that's got that big thing on it? That RF transmitter? That's not a microwave, it's a RF. Boy, that's a long line of electrics that could fuel up at any time. So, right, if I'm doing a train wreck and you have bad weather in your area, please feel free to drip in on it and ask me how are things looking in your area so I can answer you directly, right? Because that's the best help I can give you in such situations. Because I like to feel I'm being helpful rather than a hindrance. And please respect this one thing I'm going to ask of you. Don't ask me about what I think of other people's work or forecasts. Let everybody get on with their own thing. Okay? Don't put me in that position. It's not just one person. Don't feel slighted. I didn't block you or anything, but please, don't do that. It's not nice to be all acting like a central scrutinizer for everybody out here, like a boogeyman out here. I don't think that's Jimmy Valiant. The boogeyman. Man, we lost Ace, man. It's very sad to me. I mean, I dressed up as Halloween, and even in my room when it wasn't Halloween, I nicked him. I look like a dingus, look. It's a big penis in the sky. Yep, a bunch of dicks spraying you down, spraying you down. Look, it's gonna piss it down when you see that in there, don't you? Holy mother of Spurl. How do they make clouds? Well, you start with a penis shape, and then you chem-bomb shoot right out the bell end. See the waveform here? That's sine wave motion. Spray the chem on the ocean and the frequency motion. Microwave popcorn for everybody, no butter. Just getting it in the butt out of here. Holy mother of pearl, look at these straight line clouds simulating a mountain range out at sea. Let's see if we can catch it. Da-da-da-da-da, dee-dee-dee-dee, care bombing you, do-do-do-do. We've all gotta choose, do-do-do-do. Who's fooling who? Do-do-do-do. Do you follow the who? Taking advice that makes you feel do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. I gotta raise my voice because I'm watching my whales getting microwaved. I'm watching infrasonic undulation absolutely destroying any natural song in the ocean. You know, we gotta reverb everything. Look at these flow lines shaped like a dagu here and here. Let's simulate a mountain range. I expect to see some stuff like this can't naturally occur. We're not with all these microwaves in front of it. Right downwind side, I'd expect to be seeing that. So that's not natural. If somebody said that can occur naturally, yeah, sometimes it can. But is it? No, not this time. Sadly. I have to say sadly. I want to see natural weather so bad on here. Why do I do this? Because God asks me to. Why does God ask me to? Because I can. And I'm watching a geostorm barreling into freaking Western Australia. So we're going to have a good glance at this one. Let's have a really good look. What did they use to fuel this? What kind of, in the name of Australia, Chemstralia for short. I will just go Chem. Ah, yeah, look at the V shape to this. There's a square right here. Here, I'll get squigs at it. Do squiggy. Yeah, squigs. Everything gotta be shortened these days. His real name is the Grand Pen of All Showing Truth. See this here? Look at the square shape to this. Oh, we gotta change colors. Wham. How about that? There we go. Now, here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this mesh here. I'm looking at this spot right here. I got two scalar squares with bombs in them. See? Dot, 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 dot. Those are explosions. You got another strato cruiser here, right? Sending out payloads. Or drones with payloads. I'd be suspecting drones more than anything. I'd float a big platform up here in a high altitude balloon that you could, like a little landing craft, aircraft carrier, that I could land drones in, let them load and go. That's chem, all chem. It's not a natural circulation, just solidity. Air coming here, can't go there, has to go there. Hits a line of stuff, has to go here. Hits a line of stuff, has to go here. And before you know it, it's turning. Yeah, boy, that's well aimed to hit you, Perth. It's just diving at you. It really is. That's going to be a really a very volatile situation. Let's see if we can get some close-ups on you. Across the desert. Oh my, a lot of sand in the air out here. Visibility is very low. As we go out to sea, we can see what we see. So we'll go back in on that same area. And that's definitely before it did that V-shaped deployment. Here's a camera on here. And on the edging. Of course, there's viscosity lines that the chem can energize. And then the waveform will bounce between them. Like that. So each one of these lines here is waveforms. Then it can be expanded, and then that can interfere with it, causing, increases and decreases in peaks and troughs. You get something here. See? You start picking these out, and I'm loving the emulation I'm seeing. Somebody say that. And now you play everybody's shoulders. Everybody draw the lines, please. Because we all got to draw the line on this program. And the more eyes, better. When you're dealing with the Hydra of many heads, it's going to take many eyes to do it, to bring it down. Again, a center of atmospheric manipulation by the chem bomb cruisers. Chemie and the cruisers. Yeah, boy, what a dark side they get, On the dark side, oh yeah, skies on the short side. It's very shardy skies here, isn't it? You know what that's called? It's skyria. Skyria, all over you all. Boom, boom, boom. Skyria, New Zealand. Oh my God. Skyria. With that said and with that done, he's not looking too good, folks. So I have one more roll through to do for the folks in Perth, and I'm going to look at comments. If anybody has any personal needs to know, type now, or I'm going to turn off and have some peace. It's what Adelaide is expecting on Saturday. Yeah, I think so. Now, it'll separate a bit, because most of what's coming into Adelaide is going to come up over the lakes. You've got a line of storms, Sarah, that's out here, going to be drawn in because of this low. Right? Perth came in and it gave it wetness. When Esperance cuts on and pins the storm, this is just naturally going to occur from different chem. So we'll be looking today, actually. They should be spraying yours. Yours is dismissed. Right, you see, there's a separation because this has to have a place to go, right? Because this is taking up space. So as that streams down, this can come in, and if this has enough velocity pulling it, it's going to tend to steer that. So all we got to do is put a beam across the country. Let's see if we get it on there yet. Hey, I love doing weather on the fly, Let's get the Australia feed back up. Yeah, Australia having a big feed. And there has to be a straight line coming across the desert to guide that out. It just has to be there. See, there it is. Right here. Watch where I'm pointing is the center of it. If I time this the last frame in a step, I'll show you. Let's go backwards a bit. I'll get a better one. Your guiding lines are here already. That's a good shot of it. There's your guiding line. I'll show you what your radar is doing out there. It nucleates condensates of precipitable moisture. That means moisture that can actually precipitate and fall. So let's have a look at what did it suddenly condensate. Yeah. All right, there's your straight line. It's got a pin Perth. That one was obvious. That one's obvious. But wait a minute, it's done like this. Now that one was done here. Pulse and beams came out from here. That's where that one. And this one here is full on scalar. Right, that's a big station out here. See right here? There's a big drawing device out there, some antennas. And boy, you get fire, of course, big. And of course, you get some come up here from that area there. We had a ship right here. See the square? Suddenly nucleation's coming in. This is just reading the water, man. They can hide from the radar, but you ain't hiding your guilt in the skies from my eyes. Yeah, there's your flow out right there. And anything trapped behind this line comes in, and of course, that's just how it's going to work. I hope that answers your question. Sarah. Yeah, this cam's really, really bad. So it's not going to be a long-lasting event for you, Perth. I didn't see terrible totals. But that lightning that's going to come through out here and all that is going to be bear watching. If the tropical air comes any more across this backside here, inland, then I'm going to give you a tornadic activity warning. And if it doesn't, I won't. Everything's based on that. That date here is going to be very volatile, by the way, right around this area between Maury, Tamworth, and Double, because of the flow change and where it turns and the temperature changes. So I know that's going to be one of those days to watch out for the hailstones, aka tornadic activity. Learn your weather terms, and then learn my terms. Terms such as Kanban, terms such as honesty and integrity and provable facts, and things like big love and stay safe and smile for taking another family picture today. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a chem-free day somewhere, somehow, some way. As I look at chem shit out here in the Gulf of America, streaming over the state of Florida, somehow banned geoengineering, and I look at the sickness mix that has sailed over the top of Australia. Oh, it ain't ended in America. Yeah, I told you that. It was a terrible mess that came. If I showed you the East Coast of New York City, where the United Nations is, you would vomit. Mother Earth would vomit. We got tasket from it. Don't you ever again tell me some savior has banned chemtrails in the United States when I'm watching one of the biggest cities in the world, where Ace Frehley had played his song so many times lovingly, and I see New York trashed, and New York gets the blues. There's the city. There's the scalar. Here's the chemtrails going over Long Island. There's Amityville's over here, and the whole sky is a horror, absolute horror. No more should our skies be a horror. Big love, stay safe, peace. Why, God, that's bad.